Are you following people who talk pretty, or those who actually live what they preach? The truth hurts, but it needs to be said. You are probably following the wrong mentors. Seneca, the old Stoic philosopher, dropped a wisdom bomb 2,000 years ago that most people ignore to this day. Choose as a guide someone you admire more by watching them act than by hearing them speak. It sounds simple, but it is revolutionary. We live in the age of internet gurus, motivational coaches, and personal development influencers who sell dreams wrapped in catchy phrases. The problem? The vast majority of them are pure rhetoric. They talk beautifully about discipline while living in chaos. They preach financial balance while drowning in debt. They teach healthy relationships while collecting divorces. Modern psychology confirms what Seneca already knew. Our brain learns much more through behavior modeling than through verbal instruction. When Albert Bandura developed social learning theory, he demonstrated that observing real actions creates deeper neural patterns than simply hearing advice. This means that if you really want to change your life, you need to stop consuming pretty content and start observing real lives. The gap between speech and practice has a name in psychology: cognitive dissonance. And when you choose mentors who live in this contradiction, you absorb not only their words, but also their hypocrisy. Your subconscious perceives the incongruence, even if your conscious mind is still enchanted by the eloquence. The result? You develop the same patterns of incoherence. You learn to talk pretty about change, without actually changing. So here is the question that should be burning in your mind right now. How do you identify who truly deserves to be your role model, and who is just a well-articulated seller of illusions? How do you separate true masters from eloquent charlatans? There is a scientific method for this, and I am going to hand it to you right now. First move: investigate the complete trajectory of the person, not just the highlights they choose to show. Look for concrete evidence that they built what they claim to teach. If someone talks about building million-dollar businesses, did that person actually build a profitable business, or do they only sell courses about how to build businesses? The difference is brutal. Second move: observe behavior in moments of pressure. Anyone can seem wise when everything is calm. True role models reveal their character when facing real adversities. How does this person react to criticism? How do they handle public failures? Do they maintain their principles when it costs dearly? Third move: analyze the people around them. Show me your close friends, and I will tell you who you are. If someone preaches integrity, but surrounds themselves with dishonest people, you have your answer. Social psychology teaches us that we are profoundly influenced by our inner circle. Nobody maintains elevated values surrounded by mediocrity. Fourth move: look for temporal consistency. Genuine mentors demonstrate the same values over years, not just during marketing campaigns. Fifth move, and perhaps the most important: ask yourself if you would admire this person's life if they had never spoken a single word. If the answer is no, you are facing a skilled speaker, not a true guide. Now apply this to your current circle. How many people do you follow who pass these 5 tests? Probably fewer than you imagine. But here is something even more uncomfortable that we need to discuss. What about yourself? If someone observed you in silence for a week, would they admire your actions, or just be impressed by your words? This is the turning point that transforms everything. Seneca's phrase is not just about choosing external mentors. It is about becoming someone worthy of being chosen. When you apply this standard to yourself, something profound happens. You confront the distance between who you say you are and who you really are. And that distance, my friend, is where your real transformation begins. Most people live creating beautiful narratives about themselves while acting completely differently. They say they value health but have not slept properly in years. They affirm that family is a priority but work 16 hours a day. They proclaim authenticity but wear different social masks for each environment. The most powerful exercise you can do today is this. List 5 values you claim to have. Now, with brutal honesty, evaluate whether your actions over the last 30 days reflect these values. If someone observed you without knowing your intentions, could they identify these values just by what you do? If the answer is no, for any of them, you have found your starting point. It is not about blaming yourself. It is about having clarity. You cannot change what you do not recognize. The beauty of this approach is that it eliminates all the personal development, small talk, and goes straight to what matters. Behavior. Not how many books you read, how many podcasts you listened to, or how many inspirational quotes you shared. What did you actually do? How did you actually act when nobody was watching? These are the only questions that count. When you start living this way, something magical happens. You stop needing to convince others of your worth because your actions speak for you. You naturally attract people who operate at the same level of integrity. And you become, finally, the type of person Seneca would say is worth following. If this content made you rethink who you are following and who you are becoming, I would love to have you here with me on this journey. Subscribe to the channel because we are going to continue deconstructing these uncomfortable truths that nobody has the courage to speak about. There is no space here for illusion or self-deception, only for real growth. See you in the next video, and this time, pay attention not to what I say, but to the value I deliver. This is how you build something true. 1.